Hi there, and welcome to another one in our series called Digesting Lent. Now, what particular food are we going to be thinking about today? Well, I'm here in the youth kitchen. I'm not going to tell you immediately. What do you think is going to be in here? It's the kind of place where you'd probably find something, some kind of snack. There we go. This is the one. Nothing. Today, we're thinking about eating nothing. We're thinking about fasting. Fasting, which in many cultures is the name given for Lent. Christian history is full of some pretty extreme stories of fasting. Take Eusebius, who ate 15 dried figs over 7 weeks alone, and in the process, his belt got so loose that he had to sew his tunic together so it didn't fall off. Or Simeon, Stylites, a famous ascetic of the early years of the Christian faith. He once decided that he was going to drop himself into a well and have nothing to eat. He only finally got pulled out 15 days later by some shepherds. And then that was not enough. He decided that he was going to go and lock himself in a cottage with just a jug of water for the entirety of Lent. Well, eventually they found him. They managed to open the door and revive him with a piece of lettuce. Now we hear those kind of stories, and we've got to be honest, it feels quite a long way away from where we are in our modern Western society as Christians. So how should we think about fasting? Well, here are 3 reasons not to fast for a start. Number 1, we don't fast to appease God. We Christians believe in grace, for it's by grace you have been saved, says Ephesians 2. And so we don't see the things that we do for God as some kind of way of acquiring his favor, getting his goodwill towards us. We don't fast so that we can get into his good books. Secondly, we don't fast to impress others. Jesus had some stern words to say about the hypocrites, as he called them, who would fast so that they could impress other people. They'd disfigure their faces, they'd look all haggard so they could go out and someone would say, "Oh, what's going on with you?" And they'd say, "Oh, well, I'm fasting." He said to them, "I tell you, they have received their reward in full." In other words, what he said is they're not going to get anything out of their fasting apart from a pat on the back from their friend, and that's not the point. And thirdly, we don't fast just because we did it last year. Lent is a tradition that sometimes just becomes rather perfunctory. We just do it because we always do it. But actually, if our Christian discipleship, the things we do as believers, is going to be meaningful, it needs to be done for the Lord, not just because you kind of have to. Well, what are some good reasons to fast? Well, certainly fasting has a place in Christian discipleship. Jesus said, when you fast, not if you fast. So why? Well, number 1, fasting helps us in our reliance on God. When we fast, we realize we don't depend just on our appetites being met immediately. Actually, we realize what we really need is the Lord and his presence in our lives. Second of all, fasting humbles us. It gives us an appreciation for what we have. Funnily enough, abundance can sometimes do the very opposite. When we have loads of stuff and we're just enjoying it all the time, sometimes we take it for granted. And it's only when it gets taken away that we really appreciate the riches that we have. And then thirdly, fasting makes space for our relationship with God. Just very practically, it takes some time to prepare food, it takes some time to eat food. With that out of the way, there's space for us in a busy program to focus on God. And of course, fasting can be much broader than just food. It could be fasting from our use of our phones or social media. It could be leaving out box sets for a while. It could be a carbon fast, deciding not to travel so much in particular ways that not only saves the environment, but also slows down the pace of life and gives us a space to focus on our relationship with God. Well, thanks so much for joining us on this episode. If you've enjoyed it, do subscribe to our channel, do share this with your friends. We're halfway through the series or so. We've got a number more just coming up shortly. Do look out for those. The only thing about this one is that we come to the end of it, and my favorite part of the episode, when I get to eat what I've been talking about, has slightly evaporated. And for that reason, next week, we're going to have something really, really special. So come and join us for that shortly.